Okay, now recording. Okay, there we are. Okay. Hi, I'm Tina Brinkley Potts, and today we're going to talk about mobile marketing. Just yesterday, MarketWatch announced that over 49% of all the phones sold in the U.S. were smartphones. That is one of the reasons that this is a perfect opportunity to talk about mobile marketing. So let's get started. And first, we're going to start with Drew. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, thanks for inviting me on today. My name is Drew Griffin. I am the CEO and founder of a new company called Mobile Apps Labs. Formerly a wound care nurse by trade for about 20 years. I've always been a dabbler in technology and programming and that type of thing. And pretty much what I do now is we offer courses on how to create your own mobile apps for the iPhone, Android, and HTML5 devices. And we also create custom apps for business clients.
Good. Okay, so Mary, how about you? Can you introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Tina. It's great to be here. I am with Big Dogs Marketing, and we are in the Chicagoland area, and we really focus on the small to mid-sized business, and what we like to do is get them found online, and not just through Google, but through various things like video marketing, mobile marketing, and social media.
Great. Greg, you're next.
Oh, I'm Greg Adams with Local Media Mobile Marketing, and we help small businesses get found, as Mary was saying there, through video, but also here lately we've been doing a lot of mobile marketing. Mobile, as you said, Tina, has really exploded, and we've got some really exciting things we're going to talk about here today about people using mobile. People are keeping their mobile phones with them side by side, right there next to their bed. They're not turning them off, and they're using the new services like Siri all the time to find local businesses. So we've got a lot of great apps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to demonstrate something here in a minute for you. Everybody. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, well, we all better get them.
Got one. Hey, here we go. Two. Okay, here's a tablet. And then, all right, here's my other tablet. Okay, we got 3 tablets here. All right, 3 things. So, yeah, everybody's mobile. But anyway,
everybody's mobile.
Yeah, Chris? Everybody's mobile. And, we had a discussion the other day about this. Well, I'll go back to it in a minute. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let Chris do her introduction.
Hey,
just
Chris.
Before
all right,
Chris starts, I just want to, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt just for a second. I just wanted to say something else that Greg was talking about, is that now people are told that they are actually bringing their mobile phones into the bathroom with them. I just thought it was pretty funny when I heard that one.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Just don't draw anything. Don't draw anything that you see inside the bathroom. That's a big no-no.
And last but not least, let's go ahead and get back to Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Yeah, before you crack me up too much, I'm Chris Berggren, the founder of Local Links Marketing, and it's LYNX. We help businesses link with their customers, engage with their customers, and then grow their business. And we, too, are doing a lot of mobile marketing along with the social media. It's a great integration of 2 awesome platforms to help a business grow their revenues by engaging with their customers. And I know we're going to go into all the great things about mobile marketing, and I'm real excited about it, too, along with these other guys.
Okay, so, let's just, jump right into it. I mean, of course, you guys saw that I held my iPhone up, and, right now, and I think the statistics in the U.S. is 32% iPhone users, and, Android is about 40-some%, which I don't particularly understand, but the whole idea is that we live with these things beside us 24 hours a day. So tell me, let's start with Drew. Tell me, Drew, what is a good way of, an innovative way you're using this technology with one of your clients?
Yeah, sure. What we primarily focus on are native applications for our business clients.
Hold it.
And
please explain what native means before you go any further, because a lot of people will not understand that. Go ahead.
Sure. There's a trend out there. There's these applications that people are creating that reside on a mobile device like the iPhone or iPad or the Android devices and things of that nature. Now, the way that a native application runs outside of a browser, many of these mobile devices use a kind of watered down version of a web browser, such as Firefox or Safari or Chrome, or one of the more popular browsers that are on actual computers. A native application resides on the operating system being an iPhone, an Android, or a BlackBerry device. So the native applications that we're creating, these are standalone programs, if you will, to make it really short, that reside on the device itself. Just kind of giving you a quick example. You see these little icons that are on this iPhone device. These are all applications that do different things on that mobile device. How that differs from a mobile website is that it's very particular on that device. It does certain things as opposed to a website that is found on the device. So that's a basic watered down version of what a native app is. Outside of that, what we're actually doing in these applications, if you will, is creating a way for consumers and business people to be able to communicate with one another through that application. And there are a host of different functions and advantages to using such a for lack of a better word, software. The application has the ability to communicate content right on the mobile device within that software program. It's very interactive. You can communicate with people through Facebook, on Twitter, right within the application itself without having to go outside of the application to a website like Facebook.com right on your device. You can deliver QR coupons. Sorry, a little background noise here. You can do QR codes. You can do GPS coupons. You can do email photographs from the place of business right to the application itself, so you have some interactive marketing going on. One of the more prominent ways that we are using it right now is a technology called push notifications. And for anybody that has a mobile device that's out there, you probably have seen when you download one of these software programs, you see this thing come up that says, we would like to use your location. Do you approve or not approve? And what that does is it allows the application owner to communicate with whoever has downloaded that application. Think of it as a text message, if you will. So this technology is a great way to have almost a two-way conversation right through the application, send offers, send links to certain types of products or destinations that you want your customers and constituents to be aware of. It's laser focused. So anybody that has the application downloaded, you're communicating with that select group. So for example, let's say you happen to have 1,000 people that have downloaded your app that may have agreed to receive information from you. You're not sending out a blank SMS text message to 1 million people. You're getting laser focused with the people that have decided to join your community, and you have got almost a two-way conversation. So That's kind of the direction that would go in, so we can get into a little bit more specifics if time allows. But those are some of the ways that we're doing it, and we're getting a great result from it.
Okay. And yeah, I just knew right from the beginning, I know what native means. I'm sure everybody on the call knows what native means, but a lot of times that's a little too techie for my clients, so I always try to explain in plain English. Mary, your turn.
Sure.
Well, I guess I have a little bit of a different way of answering, a little less technical and just in general, simple terms. A car wash or a restaurant or any kind of repetitive service kind of business is perfect for mobile marketing because they really have a way that they can engage with their customer, a sub shop, a sandwich shop, because what they can do is create loyalty kinds of situations where the more often they use the service, they get a QR code where maybe it's linked to some sort of loyalty program. And every time they come into that car wash, they get it validated. So they just show their cell phone and they have the QR code on there and they get stamped, and it shows that they've been there that day. And so when they have accumulated 10 visits, then they get a free car wash or pizza or whatever have you. But the neat thing is, once they have gotten into that system, now they're in that database. Now they can build their list. That customer can build a list so easily if they just put a little placard or something out
Tony's
by
making
the
his
desktop.
entrance.
Okay.
I sent him the link.
Oh, there's Tony coming in. 5. Look. He's a black screen right now. Hold on. He's coming.
Come on, pedal faster, Tony.
Pedal faster.
So while we wait for Tony's video to come up, Greg, let's move to you. Mary, that's good though. I love validating the coupon.
Oh, okay. Tony dropped out.
Okay.
Well, real quickly.
Technology.
Yeah. Okay. Repeat the question real quick there, Tina, and I think I know what it is, but go ahead and just ask it again.
So just give an innovative way that you've helped one of your clients with mobile marketing.
Okay. Great. Okay. I've got a perfect example. I got a local paint and body shop I just did here last week, and he approached me. He knew that mobile was hot. He had wanted some more business in there, so I built him a mobile website. I'm not going to be able to show you, but now with the new technology, Siri, I'm going to demonstrate something for you right here, and hopefully you can hear this. Say, I've been in a car wreck. Hold on a minute. And I've been in a car wreck, and so I say, paint and body shop in Willis, Texas. Now she's going to go out there and find it.
I found a number of places matching body shop. 5 of them are in Willis.
Okay, now I can't show you, can't see it here on the phone, but he comes up number 1 on the search right here. He's at the top of the list, so they could hit the click to call or click to actually to see his location. So somebody's out in an accident and they need a paint and body shop. Most likely nowadays they're not going to wait. People want instant, and they're going to want something now. And then go in there and go right to his mobile site, right to him, and find out more about him. I got a video about him, and they can make their decision right there. They can send a record out. So that's a great example right there of what where this technology is going. And we talked about before we got this thing started that were we going to talk about social this week, or are we going to talk about mobile? Well, the great thing is nowadays social is mobile. More and more people do access their Facebook account via their mobile phone.
Absolutely.
than they do their PCs or their Macs. So it's not just a separate integration. I mean, it's all together now. And now that people, the small business could really advance themselves by having a mobile site or a mobile app, and they can do their notifications out through Facebook, because more and more people are active on that.
Absolutely. Chris, your turn.
All right. Well, we have just another example here of how you can use it in a different way and how we're helping a local business. It is a taco burrito kind of shop, but not one of the big names. More of a small mom and pop place. And they are on Facebook, and they they knew that a QR code could do them some good, but they just had that QR code pointing to their Facebook page. We are helping them create a mobile-ready website so that when people scan that QR code, they're going to a place where they can take some action with regards to either getting directions, getting coupons, and right now it's coupon directed for them. That's what they really want it to be for. And then they're using that to capture people, to get them into, say, a loyalty program, or a text messaging program where now they can send messages to them that they've asked for, and basically with coupons, with deals, in order to keep those customers coming back. They're very excited. We've already seen a pretty good result right in the beginning, and I can see that working really well for them. There are lots of great applications. You know, when Drew's talking about the native apps, this is, I don't know if you want to call it an argument, but it's certainly a discussion in the mobile marketing community. What's better, right? The mobile app or the mobile website, and which do you do first? And it's so dependent on the business and what their goals are, what their budget is, what they really want to accomplish. And you can accomplish many of the same things with either one. In the end, I'll give you my opinion that, you know, at the end of the day, most businesses would do well with both. Yeah. But you probably can't start with both, so you have to start somewhere, right? And I think our discussion will help us determine perhaps where some kinds of businesses would be best to start.
Absolutely. And I guess to add my the client that I would talk to, I have some clients that I'm doing native apps for, the same with Drew, and it would be in the industry of conferences and you know, speaker events, so that from the beginning when they're setting up their conference, this is now a native app for anybody that wants to download it. So now they can find out the speaker information, the you know, what's local as far as like restaurants, where to get a hotel, and then have the event be completely interactive, show you maps of where to go and the hotel and all that. First one, the event is actually in July. And that is, so that's what I have. But to bring it back to just the average small business owner that's out there, one of the first places I would start would be with a text messaging campaign. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Hello.
So we can tell Tony, you've been pedaling real fast. You're here now.
I'm exhausted.
Oh.
That's it. Too tired to talk.
So, Tony, what I was we just got finished giving everyone one way that we've implemented mobile marketing into a client campaign. And for me, I was talking about text messaging, where if, like, I have one client that just promotes parties, and he's literally have been doing these texts manually. Like, so if he's got 1,000 people, you know, your cell phone is only going to allow you to do so many at one time. So I said, hey, wait a minute, you know, there's technology that can do that. So we can send one text message. We can even program it at a specific time, and you can send it to the whole 1,000. So why don't we let you jump right in and give your example
of using mobile marketing for a client?
Yes.
Well, we've only got one client that I'm using it with because we did it as a test.
Okay.
And it's a local plumbing service. And what they do was they wanted to do emergency plumbing, in other words, your central heating, your gas boiler, all of that type of thing. And what we did was we started by optimizing their Google Places for Google Mobile search. Then we built a nice little mobile website for them. So all the promotion is actually going to one mobile number of the Google Places. Now, it's a beautiful little team. It's a husband and wife team, and they got about 5 plumbers working with the chap. They got about 5-6 vans on the road. So really, the wife can be anywhere, doing her shopping, going to the school, doing the school run in her own job, which she doesn't have. This is her business. And she takes the mobile calls from everybody. And then she dispatches out to the 6 guys on the road in their vans. And it's a beautiful little system, and it works very well. So what we have to do from managing her online presence point of view is we make sure she's coming up first, if not second, in a local search for all her keywords. Then her mobile website comes up with a link, and people just click it and they're going straight to their mobile site, and it just works so well. Especially when people are up to their ankles in water when they've come home from the supermarket and the washing machine has sprung a leak or something like that. It works very well.
Great. Tony, you didn't get a chance to introduce yourself either, so why don't you jump in right now and tell everybody who you are, where you're from.
What hat do you want me to wear? God.
Long day for you, huh? What time is it there for you?
It is 17:13. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Okay, what it is, I'm Tony Tracy. I am Irish, but I live in England, and I live in the very south of it in Southampton. The beauty of Southampton is it's right at the crossroads to Europe and to the rest of England. So I'm right beside an international airport, international train stations, and the motorway system. So I'm here because I can get anywhere in Europe real quick, within an hour. One of the things I do is seminars, and I do them on an international basis. So I have been in your neck of the woods over there in America. I've been to San Diego, I've been to New York, I've been to Philadelphia, and I've been up in Canada in Halifax. I got a thumbs up from somebody there.
So,
I've gone as far west as Krakow in Poland with my seminars, as far south last November in Toulon in France, and the year before I was up in Stavanger in Norway, speaking to the oil industry. So that's what I do to get me out of the house. What I actually do when I'm here at my desk is completely different. And that is I look after small businesses mainly, and how to use the internet. And I'm being very, very broad brushstroke here. How to use the internet to actually engage with your market, no matter how small you are, no matter how big you are. And I find smaller companies can do a lot more, a lot quicker than a large company.
Absolutely.
A large company,
Absolutely.
I walk into the worst case scenario with a corporate, I walk into a committee. And I usually get rid of people out of the room immediately. What happens when seriously, when you walk into a corporate, and these are the people sitting in the corporate room when you walk in, given that they called me, okay, to talk about their online presence. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get someone from finance, someone from sales, someone from marketing. Then you're going to get the CEO or whoever's in charge. Then you're going to get somebody from the IT department. Right? Mm-hmm. Now immediately you start getting rid of people. The first thing you look at is the IT guy who probably wrote his IT policies back in 1972 and won't have anything to do with the internet anywhere near his servers. And you say, you know something, I've got good news for you, guy. We're not going to be using your servers, your equipment, or not even using your PCs. So you can leave the room. This is bugger all to do with you. So that's
we don't even want your website.
No, you don't even want it. We don't like you. Go away. So the next person to get rid of, there's another person, there's the legal department. The next person to get rid of is the legal department. Because if they had their way, we would be publishing blank pages that's full of disclaimers. You couldn't sell anything, say anything. So you go away. This is purely to do with marketing and selling. So we don't need you. Go away. So now you're left with sales, marketing, finance, and the CEO. So you say to the finance guy, has sales and marketing already been allocated the budget this year? Yeah. So, okay, we'll work in their budget. We don't need you. You can piss off too. So now you're left with the CEO. You're left with the CEO. I do this. I'm not making this up. I do this. Then you're left with the CEO, the marketing guy, and the sales guy. And you say to the CEO, you keep quiet while I talk to these two people. So you say to the salesperson, what do you want from a website? And he's all going to tell you, I want lead generation. Good. I can take care of that. I don't need you anymore. You can piss off. So now you're left with the CEO and the marketing guy. And you say to the marketing person, have you got a budget? Yeah, well, we're going to use it. Right? Now, how are you using it at the moment? Tell me your collateral. You know, here's your brochure. Here's this. We commissioned the Hollywood video. Just show me what you've got. And what else have you got to spend? And then I turned to the CEO and said, you know something? I can work with this person. You have nothing to worry about. You go get yourself a coffee. Me and the grown-ups are going to start talking here. And that's who you work with. So that's what I do.
I told you guys he was going to make his grand entrance. I told you he was definitely going to do that. I knew it.
Tina.
Yes.
I've been at this game so long, it's unbelievable. But I started off as a techie with IBM. And that means I'm very black and white. So I don't go along with the, how will I call it, the flighty conversations that some people have.
Yes.
Well, we could do this, we could do that. I say, no, you could take a run and jump, mate. What we're going to do is the following, and you're going to write a check. Now, what part of that did you not understand? Well, we don't operate that way. That's why you're up shit creek, and that's why you phoned me.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yes, you're right.
And,
so let's move to the simple things.
The simple thing is, I don't know what a client who rings me, calls me, emails me wants, and usually they don't know what they want. It boils down to one of two things. We either are not getting enough business in. Now, that doesn't mean if it's coming in online or offline. We're not getting enough business in, or we're getting an awful lot of inquiries, but we ain't converting them.
So, and let's talk about that. Let's get out of the big business. Let's get away from corporations, and let's talk about the small business owner who needs more money and they're not converting the leads or they're not getting them. So in mobile marketing, let's talk about a mobile website. Why is it important? So, let's shake it up and start with Mary this time. Why is it important to have a mobile website?
Oh, it's very important to have a mobile site because, first of all, so many people now are walking around with their mobile phones, especially in a city situation because they're mobile, they're being on mass transit or something, maybe a train or a bus or something, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have to look for I don't know what it might be, a dentist or something or a doctor or whatever, and they'll take their handset and they'll just hit Google Places, and if you don't come up, you're just not there. You're not relevant. And that's the same thing with, let's say you decide it's 5 o'clock closing time and everybody's, hey, let's get together, go for a drink after work. What do? They grab their mobile phone, they hit Google Places, and if you don't come up, you're not there. And, somebody was just talking to me the other day about a situation just like that where it was a group of like 6 or 8 people after work. They were all out of town and they wanted to go get a drink and something like that. And so what they did is they went to the Google Places and they ended up going to this place and they spent, $400 or $500. That other business is going to miss out if they're not on there. They have got to be showing up. They have got to have a mobile website, and it has to be a website that is mobile friendly to make it user friendly. So it's not like a bunch of gibberish and really hard to read tiny little type. There's a special design that websites should be to be mobile. In addition to being there, they have to be able to be read and user-friendly.
Absolutely. Greg, you want to jump in?
Yeah, Mary's absolutely right there. There's a big difference of just saying have a website and a mobile-ready website. And what a mobile-ready website is a very simple version of your website. It should look totally different. You should just have a few bars. It should have a click-to-call, maybe a click-to-map, maybe some specials, and when you're talking about the business there, it's just a very brief description of it because people are scanning. They're not wanting to read a whole web page. And even on a regular website nowadays, people are not reading the whole page. They're scanning the information and making a decision within split seconds. They just want something now. They want something easy. And if your website is not mobile ready, I don't know if any of your customers have done this. I'm sure they have, but people have actually known to throw down their phones and curse their phones because they can't read the site, and they're doing what they call a pinch and squeeze and try to drag it to open it up. And I see that every day with people's businesses. They're going to go away. They're going to take a few seconds. And I don't know if you can see this right now, but this is actually what get a mobile website. Well, the glare is on it right there, but. So we've got like a click to call, click to map, and they're just simple bars on there that go to simple pages. And like I said, on the first bar on this one is a click to call. Boom. I found the local business. Hey, I'll call them. I'll find out what it's about, what they have, and I'm done. And I can do that within 30 seconds. The one other thing I want to say on it is, with a mobile website, it has to load quickly. You know, the statistics say it should load within 5 seconds. With a good platform, like one I just tested right here the other day, it loaded in 3 seconds. If you just have a regular site, I mean, it can take up to 15 seconds, and 15 seconds to today's consumer is eternity. They will go away and they will go find somebody else that has a mobile ready website, and you're gone. You're out of there. You're forgotten about.
That's right. We are the microwave society. You know, that's my favorite saying. So,
yep.
Chris.
Well, Google, right along with that, the statistic from Google is that the customer attention span is 7 seconds. You have 7 seconds for them to find your phone number, find the button that says how to get there, or they're gone. They're gone to your competitor. And nobody wants that. I mean, everybody's about getting new business, right? And increasing. You know, 73% of smartphone users access the web on their mobile device daily. Every single day they're looking on the web. So if your website is what Mary and Greg have been talking about, one you have to pinch and squeeze and pull and drag to read the words, those people are leaving. And it's such a simple solution to create a mobile-ready website. Google's terminology for it is thumb-ready. That is, if they can't use their thumbs to push the button, it is not a mobile-ready website. Okay? Drew, do you have a big thumb?
I like that. Drew, your turn.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Drew.
Go ahead, Drew. You can talk.
Actually, no, that's okay. Actually, just to echo what everyone has already mentioned, I mean, those statistics are staggering. And I guess Steve Jobs, I guess you can't tell that I'm an Apple fanboy, but Steve Jobs pretty much proclaimed it that we've got the best pointing device ever. And it's, the finger, these devices, even though it's very easy to manipulate and interact with your telephone or your mobile phone, You're right. If they need to do a lot of stuff, it's really become almost an ADD, attention deficit disorder society. I've got acquired ADD from technology. You're absolutely right. If you don't have your stuff together and people can't find you within microseconds, they just don't have the patience. They're going to the next person. And almost to echo what Greg was mentioning, we had a great discussion about this the other day. Technology is advancing so quickly that even with the traditional search methods, the next step really, this may have something to do with this question, but it supports the fact that you need to have a mobile website because voice-activated search my belief is businesses are going to need to have a voice-activated search plan, because as we're seeing right now, as the technology improves, why would anybody go to their computer or why would anybody type into their device whatever website they're trying to look for when they can simply hold up their device and say, Siri, or whatever the name of their personal assistant is, find me X, Y, and Z business in this location. And it comes back and it gives it to you right there. In addition to that, it needs to be mobile ready, so when they do interact with that device, when they see the website there, I'm a big proponent of mobile websites and applications, as Chris was mentioning. You need to have both. And I think probably the first way to go about it is actually having a mobile website that is fast, like Greg mentioned, and easily found. That's the way that you're going to be able to stay in business. If you're number one, you have to be found first. Mm-hmm. So I agree. I completely concur with what everybody has mentioned.
Well,
Can I make another comment?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Tina. I just, as we talk, I just think about sometimes as business owners, we get ourselves so much inside our business, regardless of what our business is, we stop thinking like consumers. And as someone who might use this technology, a small business owner needs to step back and think like a consumer. They are consumers. Pay attention to what you're doing when you are looking for something. When you're out with your kids, out with your spouse or whoever, whatever, out to have fun and you are looking for something, or you're in a store and you're trying to compare. This is becoming very popular. People go into stores, they see what there is, but they know there are great deals out there, or they know there are reviews that they can find on the internet. They pop out their smartphone and they look for some information. Notice what you're doing with your smartphone, should you have one. And if you don't have one, notice what other people are doing. I do see people and talk to people sometimes who say, oh, forget it. I don't even have one of those fancy phones. Why do I need to have a mobile website? Well, I'm telling you, you might not have one, but half the population does. And in another couple of years, about 3/4 to 80% will. And it won't take long after that before all of us have one, and there aren't any of those old-fashioned flip phones around. I remember when we thought that those were great, but let's see, the chairman of Google, Eric, what's his name, Schmidt? That's it.
Schmidt.
He was in a conference recently and told business owners that they should put their best people on mobile, that their strategies, they should implement mobile strategies using their very best marketing people. That tells you, where we expect where they expect mobile to go. And I don't know, Google's been pretty right about a lot of things, right along with Apple. So I think we need to listen to those guys.
Absolutely. And
but again, think like a consumer.
Before we move on to some other specific like QR codes and text messaging, I just want to kind of wrap up with what all of you said, because I think it's important that we make this very clear. A lot of people out there are still doing brochure style websites. And what is happening is you believe what someone told you long ago, that your website is for informational purposes only. That is a bunch of crap. Your website should be helping you make money. You're in business to make money. And so the clear things on your mobile website should be, and it could be a lot of different ways, but the clear things that should be on there is who you are, so the name of your business. How do you want someone to contact you? The main way. So let's say they can push to email, they can push to call, they can push to do one of these things. And a clear direction that you want to send them in. We want them to go in so many different directions that they will pick none. So give them one. Give them one at a time. Don't give too many different things, because when you give too many different things, again, we're in the microwave society. You have 7 seconds, just like Chris said. If you only have 7 seconds, you can't try to give them everything. You really have to keep it in a concise order. So I just wanted to go over that, because I think my clients are in the mom and pop area, and so they've had the old style webmasters and different things like that. And so they believe that brochure style website is really where they should be. It isn't. And if I could bring home one thing about what we're talking today, is that you need your website to be content driven, and your mobile site should be concise, that you're giving the person that's looking exactly what they're looking for. If you give too much information, you will lose them. So, Tony, we're going to let you start on, let's go to QR codes. What do you think about them?
I think they're fantastic. Sorry, I keep losing my connection here. I'm fading in and out. I think QR codes are fantastic, and there's so many places to go online and generate a free QR code. It really is beautiful. But what you do with them is becoming so innovative. I've seen QR codes being used as a Twitter profile picture. I've seen them being put on websites, obviously. I've seen them on the T-shirt, which is even more interesting. And it's what you do with them. A, where do you display them? And B, where are you going to drive people to with that QR code? And there's so many ways to use it. It's unbelievable. I love them. They're free. Why not? It's a marketing tool. Use it every chance you get.
Okay. Mary, you want to talk about QR codes?
Sure. I think it is a fabulous way to take the offline people online and the online people offline, which I always say you should cross-pollinate your customers, your online and offline. And it's a great way to use it as an opt-in form where people just have to simply scan your QR code and they can opt right in, or they can be driven to your website. And by the way, QR stands for quick response for those people that are in the audience that might not know that. Mm-hmm. And I love them. I think they're great. And I've been seeing them even at, it was the hardware store where they had plants, and they actually had little QR codes on the pot so that you could scan with your smartphone, and it would tell you exactly how to care for the plant. So you know if it's a sunny or a shady kind of plant, and you know how to take care of it. So I just love that. I love it to death. It's just the best thing ever. And you can also use it for a coupon. You can use it as a loyalty. I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier, for a car wash if you wanted to put together a loyalty program, and things of that nature. I just think they're fabulous. I think you should put on all your print material to drive people to your site or wherever it is you want to drive traffic to, but your business cards at least, if not your stationery, whatever else you might have.
Okay, Greg?
Right. Yeah, just echo what Mary's talking about, and Tony also, is there's so many, just unlimited amount. It's just really limit to your imagination what you can do with QR codes. I have a local gym here that's opening up, and so I went over and talked to him before they even got opened, and they just had some phone numbers up on the front of the gym. So what we did is create a QR code to go in for sign up for the grand opening of the gym. So they already had a list before they even opened up the gym. And I mean, it's really worked well, and they really love it. So again, it's put your QR code everywhere, and to specify that, you don't have to have just one QR code. A QR code goes to a specific web address. So we had it sign up for took it to their website and to sign up for a membership, so they could have another QR code for maybe some discounts on some nutrition or some training. So you can have multiple QR codes for multiple campaigns, but it's endless of what you can do with a quick response code.
Absolutely. Chris?
Yes, well, I too think QR codes are just tremendous. They're awesome tools. Like any tool that we're using for marketing, we need to start with the goal, with the end in mind. You don't just slap up a QR code and just send it to your website. You need to know what you want that QR code to do. What action do you want the consumer to take? Is it like the flower pot? Do you want to give information? Or do you want the consumer to take an action from using that code, whether it's giving them a coupon that they can then redeem? There are so many different ways to use it. I can't even go into them all, but you do need to start with the end in mind to make it successful. And number two, remember, the QR codes are scanned with smartphones. Okay, they're scanned with mobile devices. So where do they need to go? They need to go to a mobile-ready place. Whatever it is, it needs to be suitable for a mobile phone. It just kills me. Actually, it sickens me to see a business throw out their money to print materials, to put a QR code up in various places, or to mail it out, and I scan that thing and it goes to their regular old website in, 0.2 pica font. So I'm gone, that's 7 seconds. It doesn't even take 7 seconds for me to leave something like that. And they're throwing their money away. So start with the end in mind, create a destination that is mobile ready, and you can have great success using QR codes.
Drew, how about you?
I particularly like to use QR codes to play, that's a QR code. It's not active, by the way, so don't try to scan it. I like to play a really funky game of chess on these, just to have a little bit of mobile humor. But yeah, echoing everybody, and really to steal a quote from Dan Hollings, it basically QR codes makes everything physical or potentially physical clickable. We are a clickable society. We want to go to destinations to learn, to interact, to do pretty much anything that will gives us more information about what we're trying to interact with. So yeah, it's to echo what Chris said. It really takes a strategy to really use them effectively, since the technology is particularly cheap. Using this technology in a smart and efficacious way, so as to drive commerce or to really get the result that you're trying to acquire. It really depends. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're looking for more traffic, you should drive them to the location that makes sense. If you're looking for a sale, if you're looking to build a list, I particularly like to use them in a way that drives them to interact with me, or for me to give a message back to them. I like to specifically use them for networking purposes. It drives them back to a video that is a welcome message. Hi, my name is Drew Griffin. It's really nice that you scanned my code. Let me give you a little bit more information. I'd like to interact with you, tell you about, the tip of the day or something along those lines. So number one, they know where the code came from. They can find a little bit more information about me, and we can interact in some type of way. Particularly when I'm networking at a networking group or something like that, I try to give value back to people by giving that message. Hey, I'd like to connect with you again. Please contact me so I can find out who the best referral sources would be for your company. And then really develop that relationship. I mean, that's kind of off topic, but that's particularly how I use the QR codes. And for my clients and those types of people, I try to teach them how, in different types of strategies, like Chris was mentioning, how to specifically use them. And there's millions of ways that you could really implement those. On a side note, I saw a really fun one where there was a meme or something going around on Facebook where, hey, check out, these coordinates on Google Maps. And basically it was a satellite view of the top of a building somewhere where they painted a QR code on top of a building so you can see it from a satellite. And I thought it was really, really clever. Hey, there's a satellite view of a QR code on top of a building. And then actually, I forget where the code went, but you can use them pretty much anywhere. It's pretty cool technology.
Well, and I think I'll give one strategy that I tell some of my clients. So, for all of you small business owners out there, I'm giving you something for free that you can go implement in your business today. If you have a specific day, let's say you're a restaurant and you have, let's say Tuesday is your slowest day. I want you to get a landing page that's a one-page site that is giving an offer specific for Tuesdays. And I want you to make a QR code that goes to that page, and I want you to put it everywhere. I want you to put it on your napkins. I want you to put it on, all of your offline materials that right now are not being used and driven to anyone, driving anyone specifically anywhere. You have to buy napkins anyway, when you're a restaurant. So buy ones that have your QR code on it. If you are you can do the same thing if you are a residential cleaner. And I know in that business, people tend to want their house clean towards the weekend. So when they come home, they can come home to a nice, fresh, clean house on the weekends. So you probably want more business in the beginning of the week. So you could do the same thing. Offer a special. Use a QR code. Drive that QR code to that special. So that's a great way of using a QR code. And let's kind of move on to text messaging. Okay, who didn't we start with first? Chris, I think, or Mary? Did we start with both of you guys already?
You did? At least me, I know.
Chris, well, then you start first this time.
Yes.
Text message.
Text messaging. You say that as the text messages are rolling in on my phone right here. I'm very distracted by it, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
But, text messaging, Drew was talking about push notifications, where you have the opportunity to send messages directly to people who have requested them, or who have opted in a way that allows you to send them messages. So it's a de facto request. Text messaging marketing works that same way. You are giving people an opportunity to choose to be on your list. Let's just say you're a restaurant. And as a restaurant owner, again, let's just think of times that we might want to send out messages to people. We put table tents and signage all over the place, inviting people to send a text message to a particular number. It could be a short code. It could be a regular 10-digit number. Either way, often with a keyword. And you'll see a business owner that's doing this usually offers something to get them to opt in. So you're going to offer, let's just say, a free drink with your meal tonight if you text in, the keyword drink. Those people then are going to be on your list. Now you have the opportunity to send them messages at times that are efficacious to your business. You have a slow night. Again, let's just use the restaurant example. So there's a slow night. Again, in the restaurant business, it's often Tuesdays and Wednesdays tend to be slower than the other days. Perhaps Tuesday afternoon is a bit slow. You can jump in there and send out a message to all these people who've asked to receive messages from you that says something like, come in between 2 and 4 and get 2 for 1, lunches, dinners, whatever they're called between 2 and 4, right? But now we've seen businesses have an increase in traffic actually of over 100% at that particular time of day. Text message marketing statistically statistically it increases revenues for anyone using it correctly of at least 25%. And that's pretty staggering to a small business, a 25% increase in revenue. I mean, just imagine what that does for you. Much of that is going to be profit. So it is very effective in driving people who are already loyal or semi-loyal to your business to come back. And like the QR code, there are 1,000 creative ways to use your text message marketing to reach those people. So once again, this is maybe my mantra for the day, is start with the end in mind. Have a strategy surrounding the text messaging. Because the one thing you don't want to do is alienate the people who already love you or like you enough to have opted in to your text messaging system. Because of the rules surrounding text messaging, people can opt out. And I can tell you, the more they start to be bothered by the ones that aren't doing it right, the more quickly they are going to type the word stop on their phone to tell you to stop sending messages. So you have to be one of the good guys. You have to be one that they're really happy to receive messages from. So make your messages count. Don't send them too often. Send them messages that they want to receive. If you're in the kind of business where they want to receive a coupon, well, let's find the kind of coupon that works for your customers, works for you, gets people in, and increases revenue. And there are lots of great strategies around doing that.
Absolutely. Drew?
I agree. Almost a case study. I started a small company that wanted to use this technology to offer mobile coupons to local students in a particular college, and this is more or less just an example of the way that we were doing it. We were kind of making a hybrid Groupon type service where these kids could opt in, these students from a college could opt in to a service where we would deliver 1 or 2 mobile coupons, from local businesses that these kids would typically frequent. And in return, obviously, they would have to opt in by texting whatever the keyword was to whatever the number was, whether it's a short code, as Chris mentioned, or a traditional 10-number code. And in return, basically, they became a list of customers for all these businesses that were in the area. And in exchange, what we would do is, not necessarily sell them access, but that's what it was. We're giving them access to send their offer to our list. And it was a great way to drive traffic to those businesses on those particular days for whatever the deal of the day was type thing. So you can actually use and leverage this technology that people interact with, this interface, every single day. The problem inherent is, receiving too many text messages or unwanted offers from various places on campus or around the campus. Not everybody likes pizza. Not everybody likes Thai food. So unfortunately, part of that list is in that type of model, they actually have to agree to receive these messages. So you're going to lose some people, you're going to gain some people, but case studies have shown text message marketing works to drive a lot of focused attention at a particular set time, laser focused group, that type of thing. And it's really about those types of strategies. I'm a big proponent for SMS text messaging. It just has to be done right. You do have to be a good guy, not doing black hat marketing type stuff.
Absolutely.
Another terminology, if you stack the cool and be cool to your list, then you'll get favorable responses in return.
I agree, Drew. I have the same kind of list with a couple of colleges, and the offer has to be significant, because when you send offers that are not worth it, you lose a lot of your list. So, if you just want to offer 5 cents off, that's not something that we will put on our list. So, let's see. Tony, let's go to you next.
Actually, I have not done any commercial SMS text messaging. Okay. I did do one for the island of Bermuda, which was for the volunteer service. Mm-hmm. They're in a big, beautiful island, Bermuda. And what it was, they have a lot of affluent retirees, and they also have things like the, what would we call it, the lifeboat service, the air sea rescue. They're volunteers. So we helped put some SMS text messaging together. It's one speed dial number, and people use it for various things. They can use it to get the lifeboats out, but they also use it in certain neighborhoods where they got retirees, and it might be a medical alert. It's to let the neighbors know. And we also do it for neighborhood watch. Okay. So the one speed dial number that everybody's connected to, everybody gets the same alert. So we put that together sitting on a tall ship one evening over a beer, and in about 20 minutes we had it all worked out. And then we just rented from, I think it was from Twillo, we rented a mobile number for $1 a month. And there you go, they were all sorted. That guy still owes me a beer. But, so that's the only SMS text messaging I've been involved in. I have not used it here in the UK yet. I want to. But the problem, I think, Drew, you mentioned it there, is it doesn't matter if they're students. It's about anybody with a smartphone who opts into text messaging. The danger is we're going to get inundated with text messages. And usually at the most inappropriate time. Your phone goes off and you tend to answer the phone. And, it hasn't worked for me, but I'm an old fuddy-duddy, so I only use the mobile phone when I'm out and I have an emergency, or to keep track of my kids. So
Tony,
I really
you missed that whole conversation. We were just talking about how people tend to have them in the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, when my kids are out, my mobile is in my pocket, and I want to know what they're up to, where they are, And the last thing I want to know is, Dad, can you collect me? I need a lift. So I had my response to that on speed dial.
Greg?
Oh.
Yes, SMS. I'll give you a perfect example for this right now. We're building a campaign out for a day spa. And the problem that they're having is these people nowadays, Tony mentioned about having the phone there, but a lot of these people, they need to be reminded of their appointment to come in to get their facial, to get their makeup done, and they want this stuff, but they really get mad and actually want to cancel when you call them and remind them over the phone because they're so busy. They might be in the middle of dinner, they might be in the middle of whatever, but they don't want it. So, we set up a campaign and we ask permission, like, with their mobile phone number, and do it as a appointment reminder, which we have it built into the back of their website. And so now they know they're going to get a reminder, a couple of days before and then a couple of hours before their appointment. And they're fine with that. They love it. Like, can we remind you about it? And sure, and it pushes right out there to they get a text message. And as maybe some of our clients don't know, text messages get opened, 95% of them within the first, 5 minutes,
5 minutes.
Or less than 10 minutes.
It's actually,
within 5 minutes they get opened up, almost 100%. That's great. Today's society, this next generation of kids, email is passé. They don't do email. All they do is text. I have 2 younger kids and they will not answer the phone. All they want to do is text message. They're detached, and that's what they want. And so with this technology, and we've even found with the day spa, some of the older people, that's what we're asking them, and surprisingly, a lot of them have a smartphone, that are coming in, and they want that, and they appreciate it. So I think it's a really good way to, and of course we don't have people opt out on it because we're just doing it as a appointment reminder. And what we'll be adding to that now that we're building that customer base is we can send them offers, as we come up maybe a special for this month or something. So we're not just spamming them, and they're used to seeing text messages from them. So it's a great way for the business to build their customer base and to get it out without having to pick up the phone and harass them maybe in the middle of something that they're doing.
Cool.
Even my 70-year-old mother is happy to receive a text message rather than the phone call.
Absolutely. Last but not least, Mary.
Yes, I wanted to add a little something. I think of the mobile marketing opportunities as a really a hub, like a distribution channel. And I see it as being a very social thing because picture this. You've got a round of 20-somethings in a restaurant, and maybe there's just 2 or 3 people there, and it's a Tuesday night and it's slow. We'll go back to that scenario again that Chris mentioned. And the restaurant owner decides to have half off or whatever on appetizers. So now what happens? Well, these guys are at the table, and they probably checked in Foursquare, and now they probably are posting pictures of the appetizer on Facebook. They're tweeting about it. They're Facebooking about it. They're on Foursquare, and it becomes a big social balloon, and all of a sudden all their friends, not half an hour later, show up. And, it's just so social and instantaneous. And the other thing that I think Drew mentioned, true, nobody answers their phone. At least these kids don't. They have to have a text. That's the only way we can get in touch with our teenagers. That's for sure. And there's a 98% of open rate, and maybe it's higher now, on text messaging as opposed to emails. A lot of people don't open their email. I know I don't open all my email. If it's foreign to me and it's someone I don't know, I don't open it. But if the text comes in, I open it. And oftentimes it's not one that I know who it is, but then I just delete it. But most times I'll open one of those. So, yep, it's very instantaneous and it's very personal too, I think.
Well, for me, text messaging has worked best in the entertainment industry. So whether, we're talking about some kind of conference that's, kind of fun, or, someone that throws parties, or, something like that, I find that the text messaging works. You have a low rate of people opting out. And again, it goes back to not spamming and making sure that the people actually want to be on that list.
Right.
the last thing before we go, I want to give everybody the opportunity to kind of just tell a small business owner why they should be on mobile marketing, that they should be doing something in mobile marketing right now. Tony, we're going to start with you because you're at the top.
Okay. Very simple. It's very cost effective. It's a very, very high return on your investment, and it's so easy to set up, to manage, implement. Don't think of it like a website and web developers and techie stuff. Just think of it as the world is mobile. I'm in business. I need to reach my market. I'm going to use mobile to do it. It's that simple.
Great. Drew?
To put it into context, I think somebody mentioned it earlier, the sheer size of the mobile market in terms of devices, smartphones and tablet devices. I think I saw a statistic, it was like 6 billion devices that are out there. And to really put that number into context, it's if I were to pay you, Tina, $1,000 a day for the next 16,000 years, I still wouldn't reach that number. So it's a massive, massive, massive opportunity. And if you just look around, we were all talking about it. I think I've got 6 or 7 text messages while we're on this, while we're in the last 2 minutes, really, on this mobile device. Our attention, and you see people going around. It's actually a great opportunity for chiropractors because everyone's heads are down in these devices. They're hurting their necks. So it's a massive opportunity. If I was a chiropractor, I'd be sending text messages all day long to people trying to rainmake and injure people's necks. So really, to put that into context, that's really the opportunity. And there's more mobile devices than there are computers, PCs, and laptops all put together. So it's just a numbers game. So you really have to be on mobile.
Mary?
I have to agree with what Drew said. This market is huge. I've got a couple of stats here for you. 30 million consumers watch television content on their mobile phone. That's surprising. And the Interactive Advertising Bureau reports that 72% of all businesses have plans to increase their mobile marketing budgets next year. The even more fun one is the fact that more people around the globe own a mobile device before they own a toothbrush. And so it's just an enormous market. And if you're not out there, your competitors are already doing it, and you'll just get wiped out. They'll just take all your customers right out from under you. So I really think people need to get mobile. You need to engage where your people are, your customers, and your prospects. And that's where they are. They're all on their mobile phones. So it's kind of a simple no-brainer to me.
Absolutely. Greg, I think you shared a stat last week when you were talking about, I think last month was the first month that smartphones, why don't you tell that? Because I don't have it exactly.
The statistics came out that mobile devices outshipped PCs last month, and it's growing exponential, like 5 times faster than PCs right now. It's just going clean off the scale.
It's 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock?
What?
Wow. Who's that?
Where?
I didn't think you would hear that.
That was my stomach.
My geeky computer.
Okay.
My computer talks to me every hour. It goes off and tells me what time. It's just keeping me on schedule.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't think you guys hear that.
You got dial-up
It's on my Mac. What?
That's too funny. So, Greg, what's your answer? Why should a small business be using mobile marketing right now?
Yeah, well, what I'm finding out is to echo what everybody else is saying right there is that mobile devices, everybody has them, everybody's using them, they're out and about, you go to the mall, anytime you step out, people have their mobile devices, they're not packing up their PCs and taking them with them. Some people do, but everywhere they go, people are, as somebody mentioned earlier, they're even taking them to the bathroom now with them, so they're always they have them at the gym, you'll see them at the gym, they'll be at the supermarket, they're looking for specials. They're doing comparison shop on it. We've got the augmentation reality coming out right now, and I won't get into that. But everybody is either glued to their phones. There's some statistics say that some people would actually give up sex for their phone. They have some statistics on that. It's kind of crazy out there, but everybody, and some, I think Mary had actually mentioned too, more and more people, and Apple's getting this, and Netflix, and you're seeing, more and more people now are streaming, their movies on their mobile devices. I showed you a couple of tablets I have right here. I just got my wife this other tablet here the other day, and actually can stream Netflix right off the tablet and watch your movies right there. And it's actually got HDMI out, so you can watch it on your TV. So really, you don't need that connection. Everything is streaming off the internet, and you'll see more mobile advertisements. Mobile advertisements right now is something we didn't touch on, but as we're starting out, it used to be Google AdWords was very, very cheap back in early 2099 and stuff. It was actually pennies a click. Now for a keyword loaded phrase, depending on what you're getting there, it could be anywhere from, $1 to $15 a click. And mobile advertising right now is very inexpensive, as low as, 3 or 4 cents a click. So that's another good reason why people should get in on mobile. It's very inexpensive for mobile advertising right now. And that's where your customers are, like it or not. There's a good saying that I saw here not too long ago from Charles Darwin. It's not the strongest going to survive, and it's not even the most intelligent, but it's the person who is most adaptive to change.
Absolutely. Like
it or not, things are changing, and if you don't like it, they're going to go to your competitors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's my thesis.
Before Chris starts, I didn't specifically get into the mobile advertising because 2 weeks from now, and I want us to talk about the different types, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, mobile advertising, and kind of compare and contrast all of those. So that's 2 weeks out. Chris?
Okay.
Excellent. Well, I could just sit here and say ditto to what all my colleagues have said, but I'm going to add to it, or maybe just word it a little bit differently. When you're marketing, you are trying to increase your business, right? You're spending money, you're spending time and effort to increase business and grow your business. Well, finding new customers is about being found. And you do have to go to where the customers are. It used to be that you could just throw your message out there and plaster, like shouting with a megaphone, just plaster it all over the place and people would come. Even when websites were new, people believed that idea, if you build it, they will come, right? Because they were shifting that whole concept of outbound marketing to the internet. It doesn't work that way. We've learned that. It's an interactive, engaging sort of environment. Mobile takes that right to where they are in their hands, whether it's a tablet, a smartphone, a Kindle is a type of tablet. There are so many mobile devices now that you can communicate with people, and they do have them with them 24/7. We'd like to convince people to stop sleeping with them because it's not good for you, but that's what people do. And maybe we shouldn't be sending them messages in the middle of the night. That's what the good guys, don't send messages in the middle of the night. But,
if you're not sleeping with it, you won't know, though.
Yeah, really.
Don't be sleeping with it and let
engaging with your audience and growing your business. And mobile devices is where they are going to find you. That's just really, in a nutshell to me, what it's all about. When something changes in the marketing world, the business owners that can adapt to change and get on that change in the beginning are the ones that benefit the most from it.
Yeah.
Because they capture the largest share of their market in the beginning. But those that are slow to adapt and drag their feet and say, that'll never work, and aren't listening to the powers that be, like the Eric Schmidts, the Steve Jobs types of people that really have the foresight, those are the people that are left behind. So I hope those that are listening to this conversation will really think about being in front of the wave, being on that surfboard in front of the wave, catching it and riding it and benefiting and growing from it.
I actually had a customer say something to me once. I could not believe my ears. Well, I'll decide to go mobile when everybody else does.
Well, I'm going to agree with Chris, but I'm going to say that my market research isn't that sophisticated. Basically, I have this phone with me everywhere I go. Most of my friends will tell you that it is an extension of my arm, and they really get tired of seeing it. And as you can see, when I press the button, I've had nothing but text messages since we've been sitting here. And every time I'm at a networking event or anything, I ask people, what kind of phone do you have? And I mean, sometimes they're looking at me strange because they don't know why I'm asking, but I ask, and you will find out that even a lot of times when you think that the older generation doesn't have a smartphone, they do. They have iPads now. They have all of these things because there is technology that they love. I mean, to watch a kid that's 3 play Angry Birds on an iPad, they're on it. Your market is on a smart device. So if you're not there, you're not meeting your clients where they are. And that's the most important thing. Meet your clients where they are. So anybody want to give any closing words before we go?
Yeah, can I jump in? Look, it's a virtual world. It's a digital world. And you have to have an aspect of your business that is virtual. So whether it's mobile, it has to be out there because that's where people are engaging. And I'd just like to close by qualifying. I do bring my mobile phone to the bedroom. It goes on my bedside table. It is my alarm clock. That doesn't mean I listen to it, but it is there as my alarm clock.
It was my alarm clock too until I switched phones. I don't like my new one.
Greg?
You didn't qualify as good as I did, Mary. You're still somewhere else with your mobile phone.
I'm missing that. I don't know what you meant, but okay.
Well,
I don't take mine to the bathroom. I'll clarify that.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming today. Next week, interactive campaigns. We can talk about Facebook, Twitter, all of those kind of things. And 2 weeks out, we'll talk about the different kind of advertising, mobile advertising, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, Google TV, a whole lot of things to talk about then. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks to you.